Yo, 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 yo. Can y'all hear me? Yo. All right, let's get to it, man. Salute to everybody in the building, man. We got a different type of live stream going on right now. Salutes to everybody though. Man, oh man. First and foremost, hopefully everything goes well on this stream because I am going to have to buy a brand new computer probably within the next couple of weeks. The way it's looking, man. My computer is starting to act very, very crazy right now. I told my wife that I wasn't going to need to get a computer. It wasn't going to be anytime soon. But it's starting to get worse and worse. I'm having a lot of overheating. Right now, my temps are high. I say all that to say, man, hopefully this stream is going to just work out and we won't have any issues. But, yeah, I definitely think that I'm going to have to do something soon because this is getting out of hand, man. Salutes to Heck in the building. Salutes to Magic Don, Juan Pimpin. Salutes to everybody over in the chat. We got NH Martin. We got Barty. We got H Martinez in the building. Valdo Castilla. Rico, what's good? What's good? What's good, man? We got 42 people in the chat, but 42 people watching, but the chat is quiet as a mouse. We didn't even have niggas come in and say first. Like, I'm kind of confused what the hell y'all are on right now. Like, people ain't coming in to saying first anymore. Like, you're not excited about saying first. The chat is dead. Where is the 404? Where's the 444 people at? You feel me? I am mad confused right now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm confused. You was first, heck. So yeah, we're gonna get into that. Let me I gotta have one more screen to go to just pull this up. So we have a special guest though. We have a special guest coming through, and we also possibly, let me see. We got a special package coming in, but I don't know when the hell it's coming at this point. But we have a special guest that's gonna come through. My friend Jesse linked me up with this individual who I believe he worked or has worked with NASA. He has a good idea about what this whole thing is. And this is this so-called probe that's coming. Let me see. There's this quote unquote what some people are calling, a majority of people calling comet that is in outer space. I think it's by Jupiter currently right now, and it's heading our way, coming in extremely fast. It's interstellar, meaning it's not from our actual solar system, and it's making its way towards us now. I've recently, before this even happened, I just kind of been on Janelle, I see you down there. I'm gonna bring you up in a few. I'm gonna show them a couple videos. Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me. Thumbs up if you can hear me. He might be playing that thing. But basically I've been kind of in a little bit of, I guess you could say, a conspiracy theory thing with aliens and the recent news and reportings of a lot of aliens, and just a whole bunch of stuff has kind of been popping on my mind for a little bit, man. And this is something brand new that's kind of recently popped up. So I'm going to let y'all see what's going on. We're going to play a couple videos, and then I'm going to bring up a guest we got. We're going to talk a little bit about it, see what's going on, bring something different to the show. And I would like for y'all to also check this out, whenever you get an opportunity yourself and look it up. Let me see, y'all. Let me see. All right, I'm going to put this right here. All right, let's see.
All right, scientists are watching a newly discovered object in space. Most of those scientists agree it is a comet, but not all of those scientists.
Oh no, there's a Harvard scientist who believes he has seen proof of alien life before, and he suspects this object may not actually be a comet. WBZ's Courtney Cole spoke with him today. Courtney, he thinks it could be something alien.
And now we've certainly got your attention. He says there are clear signs that the supposed comet known as 31 Atlas could actually be an alien craft. Professor Avi Loeb and his team say the interstellar object is on an extremely unusual course for a comet that will take it close to Venus, Mars, and Jupiter. Researchers also believe that the chance of a space rock flying in this path is less than 0.005%. Loeb also says that object appears to be being, quote, intelligently directed. And if it is alien, the world should prepare.
I think that when we have a blind date from a visitor from another star, all bets are off. We shouldn't assume anything. And we should assess the risk given the data that we have. It's just like the Richter scale for assessing the risk from earthquakes. 0 would be a natural object like a comet. 10 would be an object that maneuvers as if it has an engine that is definitely technological. And then there should be some policy makers deciding how to respond to that.
Giving you something to think about, huh? Professor Loeb says the object will pass closest to the sun on October 29th when it will be blocked from the sun's view. You can watch my full conversation with him on the CBS News Boston YouTube page. David, Lisa.
All right, Courtney, thanks. By the way, October 29th is Jack Williams' birthday. So,
So yeah, you saw the images there, which I ain't gonna lie, that itself is kind of spooky. But like I said, man, I don't, who knows what it could be? We will know what it could be. There's been other instances of this phenomenon happening. I think a couple years back with something called like Mamu or something like that. I looked into it, which it actually like randomly sped up or something at the last moment, and just very different, right? And I wanted to share that with y'all. I have my guy here, and we're gonna bring him up. He knows more about this than me, and we're gonna be, we're gonna have a little talk. So let me see. Janelle, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hold on. Maybe it's me. He probably can't hear me. Let me see. Edit mic. No. Okay, hold on. Oh, no. Let me get my mic on. Testing. Yep. You hear me now?
Perfect. Gotcha.
Okay, cool. Forgive me from my shitty webcam. You see me, but I have the good the audience has the good camera, but I can see you and everything, so that's fine. Janelle, if you want, turn your camera to the side. Okay. You might have to come in and back out. There you go. Yeah, because you're gonna be. We're both gonna be on screen, but I just want the audience to get a good picture of you too. Sure. So let me. All right, let me get this over here, and then. All right, cool. Can you see me or no? You don't see me anymore?
No, but
it doesn't matter, right? You good?
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. Let me I'm gonna do this. All right, and then this is my first time. I got a new overlay with some stuff, so I'm just testing it all out real quick.
All good.
With that said, though, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. So we have a friend in common, obviously, Jesse, great friend of mine.
Yeah, same here.
So he told me y'all used to work together. You don't have to go too much into personal detail, but are you in Atlanta or from it?
So I went to Georgia Tech, Georgia Institute of Technology, way back. I'm dating myself here. Way back, 03 to 07. So I know Jesse from Druid Hills Golf Club.
Okay.
That was the last normal job I had before I went into the aviation aerospace world.
That was a that golf club definitely employed a lot of my friends and high school friends. We went to Druid Hills, so it employed like a lot of us as well. But
Yeah,
looking.
that's the golf club from what is it? ATL, the movie with Ti.
Yep, yep. So, from what I learned about you, from what I saw, is are you still working with NASA, or you were working with NASA? I know you're working with a couple different projects actually.
Yeah, so I just left NASA in November of last year. I'm with the Air Force now, so closely related. We're doing a lot of the same stuff. Not as cool as the NASA stuff, if you will. So with NASA, I was working on the replacement for the International Space Station. It's called the
Gotcha.
Gateway. So you might have seen like some of the Artemis missions. I was doing human factors for NASA for a little
Yeah,
over 3 years.
and from what I've learned, you can like fill me in, obviously, but you deal with like how people are working with the actual protocols and like how the like the instruments, I'm guessing, or something of that nature. Can you explain what human factors are?
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to. So the way I explain human factors, Tony, it's Tony, right?
Yep.
So if I were to give Tony a car from 1950, could he drive it?
I mean, at this point, I would say yes. Still, I would know the basics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you would know the basics. It's probably going to be a stick shift. It's going to be manual window, no GPS. It's going to have a key, but you would know the basics
Yeah.
because your car currently is built on those principles from a 1950s car.
Yeah, not the current generation. These kids nowadays probably wouldn't know how to drive. They wouldn't know.
Exactly.
They wouldn't know how to do
Exactly.
that. But yeah,
So if I gave Tony a car from 2050, could he drive that?
no, because I don't know. I wouldn't know what that is.
Exactly. So my job is to teach people how to drive 2050 cars, but the people are astronauts and the cars are spaceships, or the people are pilots and the cars are airplanes.
Got you. So you're working with stuff already ahead of itself, in a way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So human factors engineers, just human computer interaction, human systems integration. We want to make sure. Back in the day, there used to be knobs to turn up the volume on cars. Now it's just a flick of the thumb. I'm the guy that says, you know what? It's going to be more efficient. The driver can keep his or her eyes on the road. It's safer for everybody if we change that knob into a flick. So I'm the computer human integration expert.
Got you. So, what is something, I guess, if you could give an example of something that, of course, you were able to say, like, that would probably be seen in the future, that's like something like in a spaceship world, I guess, like.
Let me see. Let me think of a good one here. I did some Black Ops stuff with Lockheed Martin, and hopefully not with Lockheed, with Northrop Grumman, excuse me.
Okay.
When that project is declassified, it'll be one for the history books, like SR-71 Blackbird, or
Got
like
you. Okay.
some of the really cool planes.
Got you.
So,
Go ahead. My bad.
no, you're fine. I think just some of my best work is just kind of integrating situation awareness and heads-up displays and information all into one place. One of the cooler things I worked on was with a cockpit. Let's see. So we had this thing called surface trajectory-based operations. It's basically like a moving map for the airplane. So at the runway, they need to see what's going on at the airport, just like we need to see what's going on the ground. So something like that. And I think the most near-term one would probably be runway status lights. So we essentially put street lights on the runway for the pilot, so they know whether they can go, they can stop, if another airplane is coming in on short final, if they can take off. That's probably the easiest one I can think of that you'll see in the nearest term.
Got you. Because like obviously, like you were saying, and I was literally watching something on this today. The stealth bomber. What's the specific name? The B-20. Was it? You just stealth.
B-21's the newest one. We have B-2, B-52.
Yeah, that's the one that's currently like not like fully out, but they're doing the testing on it. But
B-21, yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
but the one that currently has been out for over 25 years or something at this point, right? It's still like the technology of it looks still modern today, but it's super old at this point. But
It's super old. Super old.
but I'm guessing like you're saying, like whoever designed that 25 years ago was making it for it to be something that could be used still to this day. So
Precisely. We want to include controls, displays, etc. That makes sense along the long term to be used in the future.
Got you. So with that said, then you obviously know, you said black ops, so that means, you know, there's of course like declassified. There's stuff that can't be seen. Like there's obvious proof, in fact, that there's things that go on, whether it's NASA or Air Force or whatever, that is just not ready for the public's eye at this case, right?
Definitely,
So,
sir. Yep.
so I have a couple questions in particular, I guess,
Mhm.
that are all to this and this to kind of build it up. So it says, from a human factor perspective, how would a spacecraft crew detect and assess anomalous objects approaching the solar system, especially if it behaved atypically? Now, obviously, we're talking about spacecraft, but also we could speak from just the I forgot the specific name of this telescope that is made just to find stuff coming in. It's like an alert system. I think that's what Atlas stands for. The Alert Telescope, something like that. I have to figure out the specific name, but you can answer that question for me, basically. I'm listening.
Sure. So that's a good question. First and foremost, you would want those visual and oral alerts. So whether you're in the gateway, which I mentioned is the replacement for the space station, the International Space Station, whether you're in an aircraft that is commercial, military, or even a UAV, any type of, or even a spacesuit for that matter, because spacesuit are in fact spacecrafts, aircrafts, miniature, but they're still up. So some type of visual or oral indication is the first line of defense. Whether that's going from green light to yellow to red, you know, that's the biggest mental model, the best mental model we have as humans, or whether that is a elevated beep, a klaxon tone, which is like the siren, anything to that effect. That would kind of be the first line of defense. Second line of defense would be not just a visual indication, but some sort of dynamic graph. So whether there is, you can think of a Geiger counter. You've seen like Dark, or you've seen Chernobyl, or those type of shows. The Geiger counter, it's always reading. It's steady in the background, reading the radioactive properties of the system. So as they elevate, not only can you see the elevated readings on the chart, but you can hear it as well. So some type of always in the background dynamic system is another thing. And
Are
having
we
those
speaking
indications,
like sonar almost? Like, I mean, it's
almost like
constantly
something, yeah.
going and then you start
Exactly,
boop, 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 like that. Okay.
exactly, just like sonar as well. Yeah, that's a great example.
Got you. So, obviously, like we said before, there's this thing, guys, coming in. It's Atlas/3L, I think, or 3-1.
So 3I Atlas, three
Yeah.
meaning the third interstellar.
Yeah.
I is for interstellar, and Atlas is just the name that they gave to it. I think Atlas was the telescope used to find it. Yeah.
Yeah. So before we even get into that, I would
Mhm.
like for you to tell me, at least this was not even like something Jesse told you we would be talking about, but I'm pretty sure since you know about this, you know about that. Can you explain this phenomenon with the Mama Moo thing? Whatever that. Yeah, I'm saying it wrong, but yeah.
Yeah, Oumuamua. Yeah. So we were taken by complete surprise, and I want to say 2017 by Oumuamua, our first interstellar visitor. So you know, we get comets, we get asteroids all the time from the solar system, the deep layers of the solar system, even sometimes the Oort cloud, sometimes the the asteroid belt. But this was the first visitor we could track from outside of our solar system, making it interstellar. So Oumuamua came.
Janelle, let me. I don't want to cut you off, but I do want to like we'll keep it on track. But there's like a question to that. How do we know that's interstellar? For instance, Halley's Comet goes every 77 years. How like is there a limit to what we know? Like, how do we know Halley's Comet is not interstellar? How do we know even that Oumuamua was an interstellar, but it just has a humongous orbit that it will come back in? Because there's some comets I read that they like thousands of years that they won't come back. Like so how do you know that one's interstellar and it's not? But you can continue with that, but if you have a short answer, I don't want to cut you. But that's something I wanted to also say.
No, that's actually a really good question because you have Hale-Bopp, Halley's Comet, these comets that come once in a 100 years, 200 years, etc. Would have to put my astronomer hat on, get in contact with some people, but I think the difference between them is they have interstellar origins based off of the materials they made out of, based off of their orbit, if it's a heliocentric orbit, excuse me, or any type of orbit. So the fact that Oumuamua, the materials, we cannot trace these materials to anything in our solar system. And the fact that we were able to trace it from outside, I think that's what gave us the reason to classify this as the first interstellar visitor.
Okay, and that makes sense because like you said, Halley's Comet. I didn't see that one. I don't know if you did, but I always, for some reason, I always thought I did, but I didn't. What I did saw was the one that was in '97 that comes every. It's called Halley. It's also called Halley something else. There's Halley's Comet that comes every 77 years, and there's another one that came in like '97. It was called the Let me see.
Yeah, I think Hale-Bopp, Halley's Comet. There's a few.
Yeah, it might have been the Hale-Bopp. Hale-Bopp. Yep, Comet Hale-Bopp that came in '90, which was big. It was a big one. You could really see it.
Yeah,
but and I learned with that Mawu thing, whatever. We caught it late though, right? Like this one we saw coming at us. That one had already passed us, and we caught it, right? So that's another reason why we didn't. There's no real pictures of it. It was like literally nothing, right?
Exactly. So we didn't have the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System. That's ATLAS, what it stands for. So Oumuamua just came like a wrecking ball. We were able to see a thin outline. It's cigar shaped. It's not really the shape of an asteroid nor a comet. There was no tail, essentially. So to see a comet, flat cigar shape, like a skipping stone with no tail, immediately our antennas went up. Like, what is this? We've never seen anything like this before.
And they said it sped up.
That is the crazy thing. So with no outgassing, and outgassing means if I were to let me give an example. If I were to put something in the oven, there would be gases trapped in it that would be released because it's heating up.
Yeah.
So with no outgassing, with no tail, how is it accelerating?
Yeah.
That it just baffled everybody, you know?
And I learned that too, what you just said, outgassing. It usually outgasses as it gets closer to the sun because it melts too, right?
Exactly.
It didn't melt and it got closer to the sun, so that's kind of weird also.
Right. So you put the weird shape, you put the fact that it's an interstellar object, you put the fact that there's no tail and no outgassing. It's a lot of questions.
So let me ask you this question. I've like I said, I've been in this rabbit hole for a couple of weeks now. I don't know why this all happened. This didn't trigger it. It was already there. But why do you feel like then at this point, like they didn't stop? If it was aliens, like they didn't come by, or why haven't we been? Why hasn't it came out that if it is some sort of alien, like just I don't know. Do you even believe in aliens? Tell me your thoughts of that.
So definitely believe in aliens. It would be just selfish, asinine, just downright ridiculous of us to think in this vast universe of over 100 billion galaxies, 100 billion planets, that we're the only intelligent life. That would just be preposterous. And keep in mind, intelligent life, we think of little green men with 2 eyes floating. Intelligent life could be a multi-celled organism.
Yeah.
Intelligent life is pretty subjective. So definitely believe in aliens, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, I even believe there's organisms on Mars. Like I think Mars, Europa. Europa's
exactly.
Definitely Europa. We just can't see it. But Nicole. Hold on one second. I got a visitor.
Oh, take your time.
Hey man, Nicole. You got this guy up here. Yeah. All right, my bad.
Oh, no problem.
They just got the pull. So like one thing that I didn't think about is why we haven't been personally just met by these people is because we are so not advanced compared to the rest of the universe that we're not even that interesting.
Right. So there's an actual theory. I believe it's called the wild zoo theory, where, if you are walking on the street and you see an earthworm, you're not going to stop to talk to the earthworm, stop to observe it. You're just going to continue to walk right over it. Right.
Exactly.
So there's a theory, the wild zoo theory, that we are just aardvarks. We're just fish in an aquarium So there are intelligent life forms out there who just passing us by, might stop to look, might not, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So now somebody asks, is it heading towards Earth or away from the sun? Well, we haven't gotten to Atlas yet. We will talk about that. That's what's literally about to come next. But the none of these are headed towards anything really. They're just flying by. So they're not like going into nothing, flying by. And to speak of that, Oumuamua, if I'm saying it right now, it was big, but this thing is like 10 times, like 7 miles long. Where it's coming, right?
Yeah. So
Yes.
Three Eye Atlas, that's one of the reasons there's so much speculation about its true nature, because it's about, I don't want to say exactly, but I want to say about 11 kilometers at its widest. So it's significantly bigger than Oumuamua.
So here's my questions for that now. So let's get into it. When you answer the question, you can, I guess, give a little rundown from yourself, because I showed the audience what this was, but then you can tell them what you gained from the perspective of what it is as well. But
Sure.
It says there's a new public debate around this atlas being more than just a comet, potentially an interstellar visitor or alien probe, based on your experience with spacecraft systems and telemetry.
Telemetry, yeah.
Yeah, what data would you need to evaluate such claims?
That's a great question. I think first and foremost, we don't know what we don't know. So when we look into outer space, all of what we see is only 4%. That our entire observable universe is only 4%. There's 96% that's dark energy, dark matter. We have no idea what that is.
Gotcha,
So
yeah.
we want to look for something like radio waves, like some type of signal, because that's what we're used to projecting. So I've heard there is testing going on, or there will be shortly, to try to look for those radio waves or try to look for those signals bouncing off. But one of the smartest things to do, and we mentioned it with Oumuamua, is some type of spectral analysis. So we want to see what the materials are made out of. We're used to the ice, we're used to the rock, we're used to like the nickel, the iron, the different, some of those different chemical compounds and some of those different elements. Now, we want to see if these are manufactured alloys of some sort, or we want to see if these are just run-of-the-mill space junk, right? That's another big thing. When going back to that spectral analysis, we talked about the reflection. How shiny is this thing? A lot of times comets, pretty shiny because of the ice that's reflecting off of it. But if we can see these are some strange or peculiar elements, and there's not necessarily any ice, why is this so shiny? But I think the biggest one, the one we have the most information to go off of, is speed and trajectory. So if, as we mentioned before, if we can see this thing is picking up speed without some type of outgassing of chemicals, without any thermal vents, how is it doing that?
Yeah.
So we just want to look for peculiar things that we've seen that we have not seen in the natural comets.
So one thing though is, why would the outgassing be even a way to say that it was a comet? Because when you think of a spaceship or a rocket, doesn't it have outgassing when it's moving? Like, it has a fuel of outgassing, not ice, but isn't outgassing still even in like a rocket? I mean, in space, usually, they turn the thrusters off and you see these in the movies where they use the thrusters here and there, but
Yep.
there is still like an out, I guess not, maybe I'm saying the word out, but there's fuel coming out, obviously, out the back of it.
Yeah, there's fuel coming out. So on Earth, leaving the atmosphere, whether it's solid rocket boosters, in space, hopefully someday we'll have, fusion thrusters, and we can only hope. But those are the marks of non-natural acceleration.
Yeah.
So we want to look for that non-natural acceleration. Yeah.
Okay, got you. And a lot of people, I guess, too, are saying like, that it's moving like a comet, or in the straight path. But in my brain is like, if I'm going through space, I'm gonna go through a straight path. I'm not going like, what I'm saying? So I guess like it was let me see. This is it kind of follows up. But how unusual would it be to see propulsion-like behavior in a comet's trajectory? For example, unexplained acceleration or directional changes in a comet. It's usually the same, right?
So that's one of the biggest reasons why there's so much speculation about this. Just like Oumuamua, but even more so with 3i Atlas. This is a pretty unusual trajectory. It's slated to come by Mars, I want to say October 2025, and then Earth sometime November. But the probability of a comet passing by within few astronomical units of these planets is one in how many tens of thousands? Just the chance that coming from outside of this galaxy pass just close enough by Mars, just close enough by Earth. I'm sure it's going to pass by some other planets. The probability is just very low.
Oh, so quick first question, Janelle.
Mhm.
Comets, all of them, do they have elliptical? Like if you see a comet, does that mean it's coming back?
It depends on which planet's atmosphere it's caught in, which planet's orbit, which planet orbit it's caught in. If it's caught in like a Jupiter or Saturn with a massive orbit, massive gravitational pull, it'll get looped, it'll get slingshot, it'll eventually come back. We're just going off of the cases we've seen.
Because what I'm basically saying is they're claiming it to be a comet, and if it is the comet, then that means it will come back, but we just don't know when. That's part one. But part two is it's weird that it's so close to us to be, like, we don't have comets that come in that close to, like you said, to Mars or something. Like, that's kind of odd. That's what you're saying.
Exactly.
Now I don't know. We can look it up if you don't know. But do you know, is this comet closer to us than a Halley's comet, or is it further? Do you know?
Don't know the exact distance. Yeah.
Okay. But it is what you said, in October supposed to be coming, and then I think December is when it gets close to us. But is October, Mars, November it gets close to the sun, and then December it gets close to us, but it's already past the sun on its way out. I think what it was saying. Yeah. So with that said, from what you are hearing, will we have images of this thing, or is it moving too fast? Like, what do you think?
So there's a Harvard scientist who's really pushing for us to get some more data on this. He's already named this, dubbed this alien technology. So you can imagine he's already been kind of laughed at, kind of an outcast, but he has good reason. So he's pushing for the JWS, James Webb Space Telescope, to take a look at it. That's our most advanced imaging that replaced the Hubble Space Telescope. Whether they move it to take a look, we don't know, but it would give us a little bit of clarity.
Got you. So yeah, I'm looking this up. So this thing is going to be 1.8 AU's astronomical. And then then Halley's is 0.42. So Halley is closer than this than this is.
Right. But Halley's was your prototypical comet.
And it has, like you said, all the gas and all that.
Exactly. Ice, pale, all of the properties.
So they're saying that it won't be naked to the visible eye. However, it should be visible through a telescope and stargazing binoculars. So we'll probably have some good images, basically, of this thing. But like you said, it would be smart for us to try to, based from what you know, then what would we use to be able to identify these materials on this comet? Or like, if we needed, what a telescope can do it, or is there some sort of radar or something?
Yeah, so the JWST, the James Webb Space Telescope, what it does is it reads the spectral analysis of planets as they pass in front of stars. So if they have an atmosphere, the light will change. There'll be just a little bit of a dip, a little bit of a dim. So believe it or not, through that change in light, we can do a spectral analysis and see what type of chemical compounds exist around that planet. So I would imagine we do somewhat of the same thing with this comet, as it's in front of the sun. If it gets in front of the sun, we'll be able to see just around it how it makes the light dip when passing in front of the sun.
Got you. So on a more lower scale, it would be like if I had a whole bunch of jewelry and I put it in front of a light, I would see the gold, I would see the silver, I could see platinum. Like some is gonna glisten more, some is gonna the way a diamond is gonna have way more of a sparkle. The gold's gonna have a yellowish shine. It's like that kind of.
Exactly. Yeah. Whatever precious stone you put in front of the light, there's gonna be some type of reflection. You'll be able to see.
Got you. And then you mentioned like how we can only see like 4%. And I thought about that. Like, yeah, you're right. Like even on Earth itself, I feel like that's the case. Cause you look at like, we look at the light spectrum, but I was recently messing with night vision and like infrared. And when you get infrared, I mean, you pick up a whole, that's a spectrum. That's a way, that is a spectrum of vision in a way. And when you're looking at infrared, you're seeing like the heat on the hands, you're seeing stuff on your face that you normally don't see. So I can only imagine like even now the air we're in is just not, it's not invisible like we think. There's things going on all around us. So
Think about it all the time, man. I mean, the light spectrum, the visible light spectrum on the light spectrum is minuscule. You have gamma, X-ray, infrared. Not saying we even want to see some of these, but what the human eye can process is just short nanometers. Same thing with sound. The hertz spectrum that we can hear, we can tolerate. There's high pitched frequencies we can't even hear. Exactly. Just imagine what we're missing out there. And then, like I said, the dark energy, dark matter, we have no idea what that even is.
Yeah.
And for that to be 96% of the universe, yeah.
Got you. If a probe from another civilization entered our system, what behavior or telemetry signature would make you sit up and say that doesn't look like natural physics? I mean, I think you might have kind of answered that in the way, like if it's moving, but is there anything else that would kind of throw you off?
Sure. So we have had moments like that, and they all end up just being quasars, pulsars, etc. So there's this thing called the wow moment, where I want to say SETI, which is a set of satellites that listen into outer space. There was, I want to say, a huge pop of radio wave, and the astronomer wrote "wow" next to it.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yep. So what that is again what we're used to transmitting, what we're used to listening to. We heard something that sparked our attention. Of course, it ended up just being rather a pulsar or a quasar, some type of star exploding. But from what we know, we would want to look for those.
Wait, so that was the sound it made?
That was the sound it made. Yeah.
Regardless of the fact, like that is a wow moment. If a star blowing up and you're getting wow out of that, that's crazy.
It is. It is.
So do you feel like, obviously, you know how, I played the saxophone growing up, and they used to say that. They used to say that music is the sound of the world. Meaning, if you put music notes in front of anybody from any language, we can all read it the same way.
It's universal.
Yeah. Do you feel like radio waves are the same, or they may be entered? Like, or do you feel like those type of waves? Obviously, radio waves. Like, I mean, I don't know. I wondered, like, if when we send out something, how do we don't obviously you want to know because we don't know how they will receive it, but if we receive something back from somebody, would it be clear, or we just would pick up on something shooting a signal to us? Like,
that's the $1 million question. If we didn't develop radio antennas, we wouldn't be able to receive and process radio waves.
Got you.
So
Okay.
Who's to say there's not some type of civilization been broadcasting us and pummeling us with waves that we just don't have the tools to pick up on?
I got you. Yeah. I mean, like you said earlier, like before radio waves, it was quiet. We figured out something, and then all the sound, like, what the hell is this? And then next thing you know, we're able to send shit to So like you said, there could be a whole nother technology that we turn the light switch on, and whether it's a vision, some sort, we only operate off of our senses. So we're limited to that as well. So we don't even know like what else there is out there.
And we have so James Webb Space Telescope found the closest signature to life outside of Earth. I want to say it's K12b, K21.
I just watched that before we got on here. Kepler B.
Yep.
I think you said with the DHMs and all that. If you want to explain it, yeah.
Exactly. So that is the chemical signature of life, specifically marine life. So that chemical compound cannot exist without, well, from what we are hoping, it cannot exist without a life signature. I believe it has been found on an asteroid before, so there are exceptions, but yeah, we're only looking for what we know.
And I heard with that one in particular, like it dies, like it doesn't stay. unless it keeps having life. That chemical they said, like the DHM, like it usually is something that goes and like the whatever that is, it doesn't just stick around unless life has to be there for it to continue to be there, basically.
Right. There has to be renewed, recurring life.
Yeah, that's what at least that I read. But with you doing this and learning the things you've learned and all that, how do you? This is a question that was thrown to me, by the way.
Sure.
As someone working on deep space human missions, how do you feel spiritually or philosophically about us sharing space with other intelligences?
That's a good question, and it will undoubtedly be the biggest invention of humankind. It will rewrite religion. It'll rewrite humanity as we know it. I think. Yeah, we just have to kind of brace ourselves and see what will happen, what the response will be. But it definitely touches you philosophically to know like we aren't alone in this universe. When you think about religion, of course, there are many different sects, there are many different types, there are many different, etc. But one of the fundamental questions is, why are we here? And are we alone? So I believe, finding life in outer space, life outside of Earth will answer a lot of those questions, but it'll pose even more questions as well. But
well, if you don't mind me asking, are you religious at all, or?
Yeah, definitely grew up Christian, stayed in the church 24/7, still religious, probably more spiritual than religious. And you'll find a lot of millennials, etc. Like we aren't in the church Monday through Sunday like we were as kids.
Yeah.
But, we're more so individually spiritual now. So.
I've heard some crazy stuff on the net about that, like that angels and Jesus was aliens and all. I will say though, I'm a Christian. I do believe that there is a way for all this to work together. Like without, like I believe in having one thing and still having my faith and it all making sense. And it's just obvious, like some things we just don't know. And I was, another thing I looked about a couple of weeks ago is like, I was just curious. I'm like, the Earth is said to be the Earth is said to be, the sun is like 5 billion years old or something. The Earth is like, let me see, how old is the Earth? Let me see.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, the Earth is 4.5 billion years old. Let me see. And the sun is 4.6. So the sun they're about the same age, pretty much. Couple hundreds of millions of years in difference. But the question is that I was like, well, when you think about it, then if 1 billion years ago, like if there was any sort of form of intelligent life or anything, there wouldn't be no sort of evidence. There's no fossils or nothing that's going to last 1 billion years. Maybe maybe 1 million, maybe a couple hundred, whatever, dinosaurs and all that. But 1 billion years? Like the world has switched so much since then. If you want to say that, then there's a point where there's just no evidence that we can find it. So who's to say there was another civilization or even us, Earth, but even far more advanced that lasted then and died off completely, shaped tectonic plates, everything went through, the world pretty much goes through these cycles of the ice ages and all that. So, or even even asteroids or whatever. And who's to say that, we're really not the first people to inhabit this place? Because we would never be able to find evidence of it unless we were able to dig to the core or something, maybe, which would be impossible.
And even when we do find the evidence, it might be in a language that doesn't even exist anymore. We can go to hieroglyphics for the Egyptians. We're trying to decipher these. We see pictures of what looks like astronauts in a lot of hieroglyphics, from the Mayans, the Egyptians. We just have no idea what they're talking about. And you look at some of these tribes, the Dogon tribe, even the pyramids, their latitude and longitude is the speed of light on the dot. And you look at some of these tribes in Africa, like the Dogon tribes, Sirius, the Dog Star, they've built monuments that line up exactly with these stars. No telescopes, no computers. How in the world do they know these coordinates? How do they know these latitude, longitude? It's more questions than answers, always.
Yeah. So with that said, then, like, where are you at with this Atlas thing at this point right now? Where are you at?
I think when I first heard, I was swept up in the hysteria, I was like, okay, you look at the anti-solar tail, it has not a tail going behind it, but a tail in front of it. You look at the fact that it's an interstellar visitor. You look at the irregular trajectory, the fact that it's passing these 1 in 10,000 probabilities. You just look at all these different things. I was immediately swept up in, this isn't a normal comment. This is something peculiar. But the more and more I research, there's just so few instances of interstellar visitors. We don't know if this is normal properties of these type of visitors. So I've kind of calmed down. I've kind of gotten back, put my scientific hat on, took off my conspiracy theorist hat, but definitely interested to see as it comes closer, what are some of these properties if we can analyze them.
Got you. Yeah, because let me see. I'm trying to see when was this alert system. So this Atlas asteroid terrestrial impact last alert system was created or
so July
started.
1st is when they first got it looks like.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying the actual Atlas telescope was I guess they said was started in 2015 and then became operational in 2017. So it goes to what you said, like before that there was nothing. So we've only been in with it less than 10 years of it full operation, and now we've picked up what, 2 things since then. Well, that was the first was that picked up by that as well?
I don't know if Umo
It has
is
to.
picked up by Atlas.
My bad, you're right. It has to be 3 because it's called 3 at 3 Interstellar. So 3. So that's to say in another 10 years we might be at 25 because it's a new system that's picking up this. So like you said, it may not be as as we think.
This might be a common occurrence, but now that we have the systems to find it, now we know how common it is.
Got you. What do you think? What's your thoughts of like space travel in general? Like obviously like Einstein's
theory of relativity.
Yeah, like we would never be able to hit the speed of light and all these things. Like, where do you think we're gonna be at with space travel within the next hundreds of years? Like, or they say we'll just, like, you ever think we'll be able to get past light years and all that, or you think we're just gonna be doomed within the solar system as human beings?
I think as technology progresses, I mean, you look at where we've come just in the past 100 years. I think we will have perfected space travel, interstellar space travel. I still think we're somewhat of a ways away from that. Hopefully, with the proliferation of AI, we can get some answers that we can put some practical use to. But I would love, some manned missions to some of our outer solar system planets and satellites. That would be amazing. In my lifetime, I doubt it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just hope technology advances and we get some more answers from, some of the creations we're making, like AI.
Got you. Yeah, I would have loved it too, but because we were supposed to have been on Mars by now.
Yeah, we were supposed to be living in the Jetsons at this point, right?
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it though, because Mars, I think it's a sleeper planet, man. When you think about it, the CO2 amount, like in the green, like this getting greenhouses down there, like there's something that definitely can change. And I was also just learning, watching about how Venus was really. It was saying like Venus, like millions of years ago, was probably way more habitable, like Earth at one point.
Yep.
It just got destroyed.
Venus was the greenhouse, hot, steamy swamp. So I think Mars is how could I say it? I think Mars is a future Earth. So as barren and as desolate as Mars is, with the proliferation of CO2 and the greenhouse gases, I think Earth could end up being Mars eventually down the line.
Even with the fact that the sun expanding, it's going to heat up Mars when it becomes a red giant.
Right.
The habitable zone is going to move out, right?
Yeah.
Theoretically.
Yeah. We're talking millions.
Yeah, millions. If we don't blow ourselves up, or if AI don't kill us, because that's a whole nother topic, But yeah.
Yeah. The leaderboard, every day the leaderboard goes from World War III to AI up and down.
Well, yeah. Besides that, like, let me see if there's anything on here. Jesse, salutes to Jesse in the building, by the way. I don't know if he
My guy.
I don't know if he
Good
has.
dude.
I don't know if you guys have any questions though. Y'all can feel free to also say something in the chat. Somebody said to get to the nearest solar system of 4 light years would take 70,000 years based on our technology. Yeah, I mean it's no way possible.
We're quite a ways off as of now.
Yeah, we're and from what I've seen, that's the only issue. Now let me ask you this, because obviously I know the answer, but I want to know if you ever thought about this. First things first, we are very lonely in the Milky Way galaxy when you look where we're at. Like the way we're on one of those little wings and all that.
Yeah, we're on one of the outer wings.
Yeah, so what do you think is going on near as you got, when you get really close to that center, not like dead on in the center, but obviously in the middle of the Milky Way, it's so bright. So that means there's just tons of like solar systems within one another, right? So would you believe that at that point though, like if something is in that area, I would feel like one, it's probably way more worse with the gravitational pull of whatever it is in the center, but also you got the risk of interstellar travel amongst other solar systems, and who knows if there's wars, if that is something like, have you ever thought about that though? Like what goes on within the center with the closer of all those stars?
A little bit. And again, it's all speculation. It's all theoretical, because we have voids. We have voids in space where there's seemingly no stars, seemingly no planets. That could be teeming with planets, stars, but we just can't see it again. But as we get to the center of solar systems, where it's just teeming, center of galaxies, where it's teeming with stars, teeming with planets, again, the probability of at least one of those planets having some type of intelligent life increases. Again, it might be bacteria, it might be multi-cell organisms, it might be, something like fish, octopus. So the chances of intelligent life, I like to think increase. But yeah, I definitely think about it, like what's going on in these just planetary nurseries where it's just teeming with possible life. Yeah.
Jesse has 2 questions. He said, is Elon going to Mars? And then he said, ask him straight up, are aliens real or do we have alien technology?
Elon definitely wants to go to Mars. I think he's going to be on that first, what is it, the big BFR, big effing rocket that he's making. He would have to go through training and protocol, etc. But if it's up to him, I would imagine he would be on that rocket to Mars. Do we have aliens? Straight up. Jesse. I am not at liberty to discuss this.
Damn. Well, I will say, damn, I lost train. I do have a good question. Hold on, I gotta think. It was a good question. Let me see some.
And I follow all the rabbit holes. Area 51. What is it? Salazar. I've saw all the Joe Rogan podcasts, all that cool stuff. But
yeah, you definitely get lost in there. I watched one about Valorant Thor.
Yeah.
The Venus Man or whatever.
Yep. I've seen them all.
Damn, I had a good ass question. I think Jesse messed me up, man, asking about Elon. He said that's a yeah. Oh, Skynet Steve said that's a yes. Give me 1 second. Let me I should have typed. It was there. I was just gonna ask it.
Take your time.
Yeah, I gotta remember this. This was important. It was a smart question. Damn, what were we talking about before that? Obviously, before I asked you the Jesse question, you were talking about galaxy.
The galaxy, the center of the galaxies with all the
yeah. Damn it. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I am not gonna.
It'll come back. I'll come back to you.
Yeah. But based upon that, oh wait, it's there. Hold on. It was. Damn it. Hold on. Oh, that's it. So based upon that, right? This is the question. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Honestly, from what you know or what you think, if it was alien something that happened today or proof or whatever, do you feel like are we at the point where, they say Trump and all these people are going to release files, or do you really feel like the government's not? Do you feel like the government would be willing, like, are we going to be held back from this information? It's kind of hard to say because, like, we could be being held back right now, at this moment. We never know. But I'm just saying, do you feel like if there is aliens and there's proof, would we be withheld from it, or do you feel like we're eventually going to get to the point where it's okay to let us know?
If there's aliens out there and there's proof, the government would undoubtedly hold it from us. It's just a matter of information. That's why we have the Patriot Act, to make sure these things are released, because if we don't make sure, they won't be released. And it's just a matter of preserving the peace, preserving order. I don't blame the government for doing these types of things. I think some type of landing, some type of, we had all these release files with the European like F-18 pilots, F-15 pilots, saying that they are seeing these
that
UFOs,
pussy popping on
unidentified flying objects, unidentified aerial phenomena, and it just kind of went over everybody's heads. It came out. We're like, all right, that's cool. But I think short of some type of showing where the whole world can see it. I mean, we do have, everybody has a camera in their phone, in their pocket, but short of something where the whole world can see it, whatever type of visitors we have, it's probably going to be censored, probably going to be hidden.
So with the UAPs that we've been seeing, like the one from the air, like the recent one where they're like trying to track and this is moving crazy across the screen. There's been a couple of them. Do you feel like that is majority of these UAPs you're seeing going on right now? Do you believe they're alien, or you feel like there's like do you feel like it's technology that maybe was not supposed to be captured, alien, or do you feel like it's probably artifacts of the instrument? Because obviously there's instruments that could do things, but I don't really believe in that. I believe the more so it could be. I mean, like I said, if you're in the Air Force and you're out there doing testing, like flying whatever, and you're on the maybe you're close to some, I don't know, maybe like there's some testing going on that you're not aware of, and you see this shit flying crazy, but it is some sort of Air Force, type of aircraft that they're doing testing on something totally different. Because like you said, like right now at this point, we can all agree, everybody maybe y'all in the chat don't know, but I think me and you can agree, whatever is being declassified at this point is some shit that we won't see until 2080 or something.
That's the clue right there. So the stuff that's released, I mean, by the time F-117 Nighthawk, by the time F-22, even F-35, SR-71, by the time these things are declassified, they've been in production, they've been flying, they've been tested for 20 plus years. So I think it's a mix of multiple things. I think some of these UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, that these pilots are seeing are military aircraft that will blow our mind out of the water if we try to comprehend their capabilities. I do think it is a mix of just systems acting out of whack. But the majority of the things we see here on Earth, the majority of the things that are captured are probably just military aircraft.
Makes sense. And it makes sense. I mean, with the thing that happened recently with Iran, they went and dropped those bombs and nobody knew nothing.
Right.
Like they didn't know shit that was going on. Mm-hmm. So it makes me, it makes you sit there and wonder, like I said, like we're not going to pull out the big guns until it's necessarily needed, like on some World War III apocalypse. And that's when you probably would start seeing some of these crazy shits. You're like, what the hell? So
if that.
Because I was looking at, like you said, the Nighthawk. Mm-hmm. I'm going to show the chat. Hopefully, I think I can show it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to show the chat the Nighthawk real quick. But the Nighthawk was manufactured in 1989 to 1990. This is the F-117 Nighthawk. I mean, this shit looks...
It looks like a spaceship. And the lights on the bottom, I'm sure it got misconstrued dozens, if not hundreds of times as some type of UFO.
Yeah.
And this is a stealth aircraft, radar cross-section, who knows how tiny.
Yeah, I mean, this thing is older than me. It's first flight. Mm-hmm. The first flight was 44 years ago.
Right. So imagine.
and it was retired in 2008. That was over almost 20 years ago. It was retired, and it's now being utilized as just a training thing for people. They're just training, like, yo, put the kids in there, let them like it's not even no real thing. So that itself is that just goes to show you that they wouldn't utilize something like that as some type of training device if it was the primary thing that is being used in war,
Exactly.
So yeah, that is wild.
It is. It is. Yeah, I
So
think about these things all the time. I love future technology, whether it's weapons, whether it's spacecraft, space systems. But there's a very, very close intertwining of the space race. I mean, the space race was born out of ICBMs, out of weapons, out of rockets. So space exploration and, you know, future weapons are very closely related, whether we like to acknowledge it or not.
So with that said, I got a couple more questions and I'm gonna let you go because we had you here for an hour. We appreciate you. We definitely have to follow up on this too. Might have to follow up as we get closer and we learn more about
Yeah,
this, like we do like
definitely.
a follow up. But this is a conspiracy theory thought. But obviously one of the other things we've learned about it, you might know the name of it, but where we were like this on technology and then we just shot up out of nowhere. I think it was around say like the 50s or 60s and or even like I think was it Eisenhower? They said that met with the alien, and that's when NASA was created, or whatever. Like all that stuff. Do you feel like we just figured something out, and the momentum of the intelligence in our civilization increase, or do you believe that we've been encountered before? I would say at all.
Yeah, we're getting to deep conspiracy theories now.
Yeah,
I mean, you have some hieroglyphics where they're Egyptians meaning unidentified creatures, and
spinning
maybe
disc in the Bible too, right?
say it one more time.
I think in the Bible they mentioned spinning disc too.
Yeah,
So
they do.
it's
They
it's,
do.
it's it's a lot of different things like that.
So you have, I mean, you just have all these types of stories, fables, recounted stories of how were the pyramids made? Pyramids made? Do they have some type of help? And then you have the Kardashev scale, which is the technological scale, and it's what is it? Exponential or log? Or I'm not quite sure if it's exponential or logarithmic. Um, Somebody in the chat help me out with that. But as you have the proliferation of microchips, we have the NVIDIA chips going on right now, the GPUs. I think once we kind of hit a sweet spot with technology, it just enables future technology to go
Yeah,
at an exponential rate. I don't
yeah.
know about a meeting with the aliens or anything like that, but I think certain technologies. Now, if we look at AI, and if we look at the advancements of ChatGPT 2, 3, 4, I think they said by the time we reach 2027, I don't know if we'll have AGI, but we'll be pretty close where AI will be at the level of like a PhD student. So I think we've seen the iterations of a toddler. We've seen the iterations of a middle school student. I think we're in the high school student phase, if you will. I'm pretty sure they said by 2027 we'll reach
Shit, that motherfucker smarter
AGI.
than me. He's smarter
Yeah.
than me. He can't be no high. That motherfucker's smart, bro.
It's passing LSAT. It's
Yeah,
passing tax examinations. It's
yeah.
passing the bar exam. It's passing all these crazy things. So
But
I
yeah,
just think there's
go ahead.
certain aspects, there's certain tipping points that help technology propel. That's all it is.
Yeah, I was just thinking like, 128 gigabytes, y'all.
Mhm.
Back in the 90s or early 2000s, the PS2, the memory card was like this big. It was 8
Yep.
megabytes. And then what was it, like 6 megabytes to get to space or to the moon or something like that, they was saying? And
Yep.
it was,
The
so
technology in your watch is more than Apollo 11.
yeah. So I get what you're saying there, and it makes sense. It's a snowball effect. The
It
more
is.
information you learn, the faster you learn. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger, faster and faster. So, I definitely agree with you there. Like, and with AI, I definitely think about a whole nother topic that this is
Mhm.
totally off, but just as these two things, in my opinion, are we'll probably never know, at least in our lifetime, but the space exploration and then our consciousness.
Mm.
And with AI, AI is getting so close, but what is consciousness, what it is, can it be implemented in AI? That's obviously though where people are also very scared to do so, because if you give
Definitely.
AI consciousness, then it finds a will to live or means to live,
By
then
any means. Yep.
then it's because I saw something about what you just said, that somebody was very scared of the way we're going with AI, and like
A lot of people.
you find an AI and you give it consciousness and it finds a way to to, you know, when we tell AI to shut down, it shuts down because of us. But if you give it a consciousness and it finds it shut down as a part of a termination, and it no longer declines wanting to terminate itself, then you lose control over that. And then
Yeah, we've already seen instances of this. They've done experiments in a controlled environment, thank goodness, where they told the AI agent some made up gossip. I don't know if you heard this story. They told the AI agent that an employee was cheating on his wife. And then they told the AI agent normal protocols like complete this, complete that. We're going to shut you down. The AI agent disseminated the made up gossip of I want to say it's like the CEO or some high ranking official cheating on his wife in order to not get shut down. So we've already seen instances.
Oh. So it basically was like, bro, like it's like you like somebody getting robbing you without a mask on. You're like, bro, I won't remember your face. Just take the money, don't kill me.
Yeah.
Like that.
We've seen instances of AI doing whatever it takes to stay afloat. We've already seen that.
I gotta look at that one. That's crazy. Yeah, but
yeah, we've already seen that one.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. But it's kind of one of them. It's kind of one of them things. It's like it's a seesaw, because in all reality, like AI could be the problem, could solve these problems with space and finding these ways. Because I mean, obviously, computers are gonna, like, our brains have so much, but computers can. It's the way they operate, obviously, you know.
It is. Yeah, I think about consciousness all the time as well. I mean, what is consciousness? Can we replicate it? Can we make it into a computer? I think about that a lot. What else is conscious? Are plants? You know, they recently came out and said plants scream when you cut their leaves, or plants emit wavelengths, sound that we can't even hear, and they're all connected. So, what is consciousness? Is our planet conscious? Is our solar system, is our universe conscious? And then bringing it back on a micro level, like, can we program it? Do we even want to program that? I definitely think about that as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I like I said, I've been in this black hole, this conspiracy things, simulations, and all that, and even that itself is a whole nother thing. But
it is.
I definitely want to follow up with you on it. Like I said, I mean, October. I feel like what do you expect, Janelle, to be information we'll know by October when it gets to Mars? Are we gonna have pictures, you feel like, at all? I mean, we could get pictures of Mars from what it like. What is there any satellites currently out there? Obviously, the International Space System's out there, but that's not like so far away. But we've gotten pictures of Mars, but that's usually when these things are flying by, they're grabbing us pictures. So it's not like we could just turn pictures on and start snapping them. The pictures more than likely will come from a telescope on Earth, correct?
Yeah. So that'll be telescope. I mean, we have tons of telescopes out there. We still have Hubble out there holding strong. We still have James Webb telescope is out there, obviously. Chandra, we have a couple, infrared, gamma, X-ray. James Webb would provide us the best image. I think as more and more attention comes to 3i Atlas and it reaches a fever pitch, we might be able to just turn James Webb to get a clear picture. James Webb has turned for many different things that were in the news. So hopefully by the time it's November, October, we'll have a better picture, better image, maybe do some like spectrometer readings, see what the chemical composition is. But we're all waiting.
Got you. Last question. If this thing would have hit us, we'd be dead, right? The whole planet would be
if this thing were to hit us,
7 miles. It's over. 7 miles. That's pretty big, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty big.
It's a wrap. But it's not.
Yeah. Nah. But it just shows that, like, you never know. Like, things are just constantly popping up. Like, hey, it's for whatever happened to the dinosaurs. If it was one, it's like, damn, like they were just unlucky at that point, man.
They were, but I'm sure they live full lives, you know. So
yeah,
what can you say?
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for taking your
time, man. Anytime.
And, we'll definitely keep in touch. And are you in Atlanta still, or?
So I'm currently in Dallas right now. I work out of a Plano office, but I was in Houston for around 3.5 years. I was in Australia before that for about 3.5 years.
Okay.
San Diego, DC. I'm all over the place.
All right, man. Well, yeah, if you ever come back to Atlanta, maybe you and Jesse need a link or something. We do.
For sure. We got to make that happen.
For sure, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
No problem. Have a good one.
All right. You too. Peace.
All right.
All right, y'all. Well, yeah, salute to Janelle. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Something different. I mean, look, we're not sitting here saying that the aliens are coming. Are they real? I mean, obviously, it was on a title to kind of get a little bit of little bit clicky baity. You feel me? But I think it was definitely like just interesting, bro. I've been interested in this type of stuff. I wanted to share something with y'all on this, and you know, if you want to see more stuff like this, we can definitely do more interviews, talking about different things outside of the sneaker realm. I would love for y'all to hit that like button as well. Damn, I don't know if Janelle is still here. I don't know if he has like any sort of Instagram or anything he wants to share. Jesse, if you want to reach out to him, if not, you know, I should have got his damn Instagram. I think he actually this commenter liked something else of mine because it had popped up that he liked something. But let me see something. I don't know if he want to say anything though. If he can, hit the like button though, y'all. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. It's free. Speaking of, let me see something. Appreciate y'all. I don't even need an exit now. Janelle to save us a spot for the rocket ship. Oh yeah. How's everybody else doing though? I guess Jesse and them dipped. Let me see. But yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts and opinions. Okay. Well, Jesse, just get the information, and if anything, I'll put it in my description or something for him. So we'll do it from there. We'll put it in the description. But y'all, I appreciate y'all. Love y'all as always. I hope y'all really enjoyed this show with something different, and we'll be back as normal on our normal schedule though. I want to say probably tomorrow or Monday. We got some videos coming, so stay tuned.